had my mindset that, once I get here, I'll start earning that money quick.
Yeah,
right?
most of us, I would love to say most of us, there's no plan B. There's no plan beyond land and get to the capital.
Remember, back home, not so many people have. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, we're going to tackle some interesting topic, the pressures of the American dream. Big, especially for immigrants. When you come here, my goodness. Talk to us about that.
So I feel like when you come, I always go back to people I've put, from my generation at least, people have put together money, mchangos, arambe to send you away, right? And you're supposed to come out here, you're supposed to make something of yourself, and you're supposed to bring something home. And something home is relative, it depends on who you are, and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't always have to be money. But they expect once you're here, then your life has been set based on what you could have been doing at home, and now here you are doing something different. So the American dream, unfortunately, again, social media, love you but love to hate you. Social media is it spoils it all, I feel, because kuna watu wanafikiria this is what the American dream is, right? I have bought a house, I have several cars, I have this, I have that, I have the other. But that's a lot of pressure, number one. Number two, sticking on to kujana, a lot of things. Personally, I landed in this country $200 in my pocket. For some people, that's damn, that's low. For some people, they're like, oh wow, you had 200. You know what I mean? Everybody has different expectations.
Coming here, I had my mindset that, once I get here, I'll start earning that money quick, right? Yeah. And then I guess even of the things that I used to watch on TV, the big house, the cars and all that. So I thought, once you land here, it's like the money is on the street. But then you get here, you realize, oh my goodness, no, it's not like that, right? Yeah. It's a process. It's a process, and depending on the kind of visa you have coming in, for you, you had.
I came as a student, so I came on a student visa, and my school fees was ridiculous. If you look at colleges, you were paying double and then some, so you were paying a third more, like you were paying more than what the in-house students were paying. But and then I learned I was allowed to work, and I got very excited until I learned I was only allowed 10 hours a week. Now listen, honey, 10 hours a week at $7 an hour, or was it $6 an hour then? It's really not much. So it's okay for a student who has a family with money to support them. But for those of us who because you're trying to support yourself, that ain't nothing.
Yeah, to support. And sometimes you come here to support you for school, right? Yeah. And your family only pays for your first semester, right? So the next one, you go looking for a job, pay for your school fees. It's on you. Everything is on you. And you don't want to disappoint them because you're the first one to come here, all right? So they are saying, everything is on you now. Please, when you go there, remember all this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then you come here and you hear, my coach, life is hard.
And I like that you touched on the first one to come here, because I was the first to come here. And even if people don't say it, you always think in your head, okay, I've got sisters, I've got brothers, right? I have to pave a way so they can come. Okay. Yes. So it's not, nobody even has to tell you. It's automatic. You understand and you see that from how much sacrifice to come, then you should pay the next people. You don't have to be here alone, So you're sitting there looking, counting, and you're just like, this math doesn't add up. But I know you came on different visas and you've experienced it also in a different way. So tell us about that.
I have been in all type of visas you can think of. You know what I mean? All visas you can think. Yes, and some of them are good. Some of them have so much restrictions, like you cannot work, you cannot. And so for people at home, even for my parents, I'm trying to tell them, this type of visa that I have, I'm not allowed to work. They can't understand that. Yeah. They're like, what are you talking about? Yeah. They don't know. Yeah. There's so much rules and so much restrictions. But when I came in, I had, when I was working in New York City, I was given a diplomatic kind of a visa, which was nice. The only problem was, you're working in a situation where they're not paying you so good, but you're gonna get stuck there. You'll be stuck there because once you move, you're out of status.
I was gonna say that. I know, because I have an aunt with a diplomatic visa, but fortunately for her husband is high in the rankings, right? So she doesn't work, but it's cool. But there's a lot of people who get the diplomatic visa, but your job doesn't pay you that much. So you're sitting there. People assume, women are diplomatic, you guys are set. But no, you need your spouse to work. You need you need to be able to provide, and you're not able to.
No, I like what you said, because, as long as you're up there, up in the ladder, then you're not stressed. You don't worry about many things. Yeah. But if you're there at the bottom, You need another job. You need another job and another job, but you cannot do that. You're not allowed to take any other job, right?
Yeah, and when people hear you work for the UN, they're like, "What are you complaining about? You work for the UN."
Yeah, you live in New York City, V. You live in New York City. It's so expensive. You cannot compare it.
New York is hella
So I mean, don't stress yourself. Like I remember I told you, sometimes I stop picking up calls because I am tired of explaining to people that this is not working, this is not supposed to be, their rules and regulations. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And guys, you can catch that on our culture shock video. Okay, whatever.
Yes.
But no, I hear you. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. That first coming out here for a lot of people is just a blessing, and most of us, I would love to say most of us, there's no plan B. There's no plan beyond land and get to the place. Akunanga after a year I'll do this, after 2 months I'll do. There's a few select, like I know a few people who've reached here. They have relatives. They've taken them under their wing. Blah 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 blah. But then the problem is people don't tell you the differentiation. Mnaponga Instagram YouTube mkipost mapicha watu wakiangalia lifestyle. Si ndio? Ule mtu mwenye alikuja and they had their family and they got married and they got their papers and they kept it moving and they never had to pay rent in the beginning until they you're being compared to that person when you landed here, had, like you said, had your 1 semester paid and then had to figure it out, right?
Yes.
And then the other person who you landed here, you were told, come help watch my baby, I'll help you find a job. And then people, they forgot about you because they need the childcare, right? So they're not asking for anything else. Or there's people who come for a mission, they come for a church event, and then they just disappear. Because power to my people. Because umekompea kurudi home na kupotea America,
there's no way. It's a one-way ticket. There's no way we are not going back.
But unfortunately, all these people are being judged by the same scales, and it's very unfair. And then even as us, you look back, like when I came here, I remember the first thing I did, and one of the things that really caught on to me is I would go on Facebook, because it started in those 2 eras of mine in college, and then I would look at the people I had started campo with. They're finishing, me, I'm still here, because eventually, like you said, 1, either your parents pay your way through, or 2, you start over, or 3, to survive, you're now doing less courses each time. So your time is dragged out. Now you're watching people you want to campo with, they're finishing, they're marrying, okay, people are building houses. You're still living with roommates. It really messes you up psychologically. I really think it does.
And V, and also remember, back home, not so many people have roommates. Hata wale when they struggle, wako na their own space nyumbani.
Yeah.
You come, you realize, oh my gosh, there's a place called an attic. There's a place called a basement. I have to live in it. I have lived in the attic. It becomes hell. It becomes harder, like
in the summer. The summer you're like cooking.
The struggle though that people don't talk about.
Yeah.
Before you get that comfortable life, and then you start a family. You have 2, 3 children. I have 3 children. Then you start thinking, oh my gosh, even to take them back home to visit, you're talking about 5,000 just for the ticket.
You haven't. You need the cousins who show up unannounced. Okay, the aunts and uncles who show up unannounced because they heard you came from America. It's a hell of a lot. And let's talk about how expensive it is just to get your papers, even if you can, right? So forget the visas. Now you found a legitimate way to get your papers. Those flights are ridiculous. They are so expensive. When I started finding papers, I had to do it myself, and not because I thought I could do it. At first, it's just like you look at the price for a lawyer. I'm like, bro, there's gotta be a way I can do this myself. And sisters and brothers, you can do your papers by yourself.
Yes.
Read, take your time. All the information is on the main website. Just do it yourself. Trust me. Trust me. I had to learn the hard way, and I did it, and they send you info. I see my sisters and brothers now who want to a lawyer. And unfortunately, usually it's an African, a Nigerian lawyer, a Sijia what lawyer, Amelipai, Maranangoje.
But also even wa Kenya ama wa Africa, you come here, they don't even tell you about all these government facilities or government, what do you call it? Yeah.
I know, they're not the only one lawyer when I say if you're low income or whatever. They don't tell you.
Yes.
They don't tell you, and it's so sad and so unfair. They're the ones who will hook you up with Niko na mse wangu mnaija anafanya hivi na hivi. But why? Why sis? Why bro? Like, why can't we help each other? Nikipata makaratasi, so what? Like you said in our previous video, you guys gotta watch our previous video. When I succeed, you succeed. It's not always a fight. It's not always you don't have to be conflict.
Yeah. And when I was talking to you about this, you told me that the American dream is relative. Your way of American dream, it might not be mine, right?
Yeah. Yes, your American dream might just be to finish and get a degree, because that's something that maybe was not available to you back home. Because for those of you who don't know, when at least in my time when we did Form 4, you were on a scale against everybody in the country who did Form 4. So I like to say, like, your A matters. Having an A is not necessarily having an A, because if everybody has an A that year, then now they go by the scale and they cut you off and they cut you off.
Yes.
Where you would think people with B's and B minuses would go to college in my time, it wasn't a guarantee. So your American dream might be the option to come out here because you are, you know, smart or talented in whatever area that you have, and you didn't get the opportunity in Kenya, and here you can get your degree. That could be your dream, and you just want to go home and succeed. My American dream could be to come here and have 2 or 3 relatives follow me. Okay, not everybody's American dream is a big house, those are good things and those are happy things, but that's not everybody. I've seen people who've come here, done what they needed to do, gone back home, started their businesses there, and are so much more successful and happy. Okay, there's the people who are here, they've bought their homes, they've had their kids, they've settled here, and they're happy. And the people who are just living today, and they're still happy. American dream is relative. Okay, don't chase someone else's dream. Be uniquely you. Chase your dream. Do what works for you.
I like that.
And for me personally, I don't want to work forever, because we get into this credit system. America is such a credit-based society, right? If you want to go out to eat, there's a credit card for that. You want to go shopping, there's a credit card for that. You know, everything's on loan. You buy a car, it's on loan, a house. You never really completely own anything. I don't want to work.
I told you. Yeah, and that's how we get into debt. The first time we got our credit card.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You go swiping it everywhere, left, right, and center, not knowing you're getting yourself into, you know, see, nobody advises you on this thing.
Yeah. Follow your own dream, do what works for you, and don't let anybody pressure you into, I don't know, don't let anybody pressure you. Just do what's for you, do what's for your family. I meet people sometimes and they have this attitude, and I'm like, but home will come from where? And you hear where they're from back home, and you're like, but if you don't know, I know for a fact this thing can be open to, like, calm down.
You know what they say? Or even they say that, oh my gosh, Buffalo sounds like, you know, in the country. Like, my gosh, I can't live in Buffalo. I have to be in the city.
Girl, na sisi ulionanga tu ukiko kwa ndege ukitoka Jomo Kenyatta. Thank you guys again for joining us for this topic. Let us know what your pressures are right now about the American dream. What's going on with you? What's going on in your town? Educate us, leave a comment, and we'll talk about it. And thank you for joining the Afro Mamaz.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.